This is how Apistogrammas should look like, just like you would see them in the wild, and behaving like they want and how they are supposed to. I built a special tank exactly for that reason, to record wild and natural looking videos like this one, to experience this atmosphere, darkness, wildness. So let's build this tank together, step by step. Let's not waste any time and jump right into the build. This is the tank I will be using for this project. As you can see, it has a relatively big surface area, but it's quite shallow. And that's totally fine, because Apistos don't really need tall tanks, but they do like to have their own territories, so it should work really well. With this project, I will use this small directional lamp. I'm hoping it will create shimmering effect on top of my tank, but we will have to wait and see how it works. Now let's work on the design. At the bottom of my tank, I'm placing a thin layer of fine gravel. I was thinking about sand, but this has this nice dark coloring that will be just perfect for Apistos. At this point, I'm not using any root taps or any other kind of fertilization. I will put root taps only directly under my plants. This darker substrate will work great with Blackwater design and should make my Apistogrammas feel very safe. And there we are. I want this build to be quite triangular. This is why I will place my filtration already now, right next to my light. It looks ugly now, I know, but it will be not visible later, because now I want to build around it, starting from spiderwood. I have few very nice pieces to work with. Some of them were already used, others are new. But the main point is, I want to create quite dense structure from it that will resemble roots from big tree. Plus, it should hide that filter and create many hiding spots for my fish. And I think it's a mission accomplished. It looks very good and should be a good baseline for nice Blackwater tank. This was really fast and easy. Now I think we are ready for planting. All plants that I will put in here need to be easy and cannot require high lighting, because like I said, this tank will be dark. So let's start from that crypt. Because of its size and shape, it will be the best to place it at the back. When I was doing that, I noticed that this wood is not exactly stable, so next I will put inside some pebbles. Those are common river rocks, nothing special. I tried to place them in random places, without any special planning. But still, try to use them as anchors or weights for this wood. I just want to make sure that it will not float later or tip over during planting. Okay, let's move on. Now I can plant around those rocks, and as I said earlier, in places used for planting, I'm also putting some root taps and clay balls, because those plants do need some nutrients, and there is nothing in that gravel. Okay, it looks great in there. Next, Bolbitis. I don't use enough Bolbitis in any of my projects, so it's a good time to change that. This one needs to go a little bit higher, because it requires just a little bit more light. And finally, some Anubias, to cover this filtration even better. I'm not planting it very deep in the sand, I just make sure it doesn't float, that's it. Okay, I think we are done for now. It looks really good. Yes, I know it's simple, but we are not done yet. Next part comes after we put some water inside, so let's do that now. And here we are. We are actually almost 2 weeks later already. I just wanted this tank to develop a little bit before I move on to the next stage. And it already looks amazing to me. I know that it's not going to be the prettiest tank to many of you, but I honestly think it's fantastic. It's dark, mystical, very atmospheric, even though we are not ready yet. Now let's move forward with this wilding process. To do that, I will use different kinds of botanicals, like branches, cones, and a lot of oak leaves. And those leaves are the most important. Before throwing them in, I was rinsing them in hot water. I do that to make sure that there is nothing dangerous on them, but also to make them sink faster. I was keeping them in that water only for a few minutes, because I want those leaves to release tannins into my tank, not into this cup. That's the whole point of black water and those leaves. And that water will also go into the tank, to make it darker and healthier for fish. I'm placing all of it in the tank by simply throwing everything inside. No particular order, no planning. I want all of them to find their place naturally. Now, let's leave this tank for additional few days for final result. And only one additional week later, I got even better results than expected. I have never had a tank in which any fish would settle that quickly. Seriously, after just few minutes, all of them had fantastic colors and were exploring their surroundings. They looked so confident and healthy, like they were living here for months. They are not shy, they are not escaping or hiding. I think that they are just happy and feel very safe in here. And that's not everything. Not only my tank looks absolutely stunning, like wild chaotic river tank. Not only my fish feel great in here, but also, check this out, we have babies already, after 1 week. How amazing is that? That means that they had to lay eggs literally on the same day when they moved in. They are very difficult to record, which is normal, but still, what an epic turn of events. And this female, look at her colors. This is exactly what I wanted. This amazing coloring in amazing tank. Don't get me wrong, I really like this kind of aquascapes with plant layouts and vibrant colors. I make them all the time. But this one is how actual natural environments look like. And you can really see the difference in behavior of the fish in there. The only thing that I need to change is include even more tannins. I mean, it is a little bit darker than you see on the video, but still it's not fully black water, not yet, but we will get there. Apart from that, I will continue with this natural approach and will not touch this tank in any way. I will not clean it, not even glass. No algae prevention, nothing like that. The only thing I will do is feed the fish, but only with live foods of different kinds. Let me know in the comments if you like this kind of naturalistic tanks. I'm really curious to find out. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one.